Okay, in this video we're going to talk about how we can use if statements to give a point a location. So let's see what I mean by that. So I'm going to start up a graphing calculator from GeoGebra.org. I'm on the beta version, but it doesn't really matter for what we're doing. And so let's say that we just have 2 points. So 2, 2, and -2, -2. So those are the only 2 points we have. And let me make this a little bigger. Okay, maybe we want to see more of this eventually. And there we go. Okay, so we have these 2 points. And I'm going to create a slider. So I'm just going to use V as a slider. I'm going to make it go from 0 to 10, let's say. Okay, so right now it's 1. I can drag this. So what I want to do is I want to create a new point, and I want it to either be at the position where A is or the position where B is, and I want its position to be determined by the value of V. So maybe this is like time dependent. So let's say I'm going to do this by using if statements. So let me turn these off. When you type if, it suggests something. So if there's one option where it's condition then. So if the condition is true, it's just going to do this. There's another option where it says if condition. So if the condition is true, it will do this. Otherwise, it will do something else. So let's look at the first one first. So if V is less than 5. So right now V is less than 5. So as soon as I tell it what to do here, it's going to do that. So I could say A, and you can see that point pops up here at 2, 2, which is the coordinate of A. I could say B, and it'll be right here. So let's just say A. And I hit enter, and now I'm going to move this a little bit. So right now V is less than 5, so it's staying at the coordinate 2, 2. Coordinates 2, 2. As soon as this becomes 5 or greater, it actually isn't going to know what to do, so it's just going to disappear. So it says undefined, and it's gone. So I'm going to edit this. I recommend you never edit something when it says that it's undefined. It just makes it disappear. I don't know if that's a glitch or a feature, but as soon as it comes back, we can go in here and edit. So let's say that instead of just disappearing when V is suddenly 5 or greater, let's make it just go to the position B. So this is if V is less than 5, the point is just going to sit at 2, 2, which is the location of A. Otherwise, so as soon as it's greater than 5, it's going to sit at position B. So I hit enter, and now as long as I'm less than 5, it's at 2, 2, which is the position A. And as soon as I get to 5, let's see if I can, as soon as I get to 5, it bounces to position B, which is -2, -2. Okay, so that's a little bit of control. But what if we have more points? So I'm going to delete this so that I can kind of walk through what I'm doing. And I'm going to add another point. So I don't like to name them. I like to let GeoGebra just do it for me. So I'm going to put a point at -2, 2. Okay, so now what I want to do is, let me add another one at 2, -2, I guess is the last. So we're doing kind of the corners of a box. So I want to write something that bounces from A to B to C to D. And so I'm going to take the 10 and divide it by 4. So that's 2.5s. Start with if. And let's say, V is less than 2.5. I need to tell it what to do if V is less than 2.5, which it currently is. I'm going to put the point at A, comma. Now I need to tell it what to do if V is greater than 2.5. But I actually want to do something more complicated. So what I'm going to do is another if statement. If V is less than 5. So it already checked to see if it's less than 2.5. If it was less than 2.5, it would just be at A and sit there. As soon as it's greater than 2.5, it's going to look at this next if statement where it immediately checks to see if it's less than 5. If it's less than 5, I'm going to put B. And then, so right now it's at A because it's still less than 2.4. I don't know if I can drag this without screwing things up. I can. Okay, so as soon as it goes more than 2.5, it bounces to location B. I want to do something more complicated. So what I'm going to do is in here, so this is another, it's if, then if this condition is true, do B. I can give this another condition. So I'm going to say if V is less than 7.5, Let's put the point at C, hit enter, and then just drag this a little bit to see what's happening. There we go. And then finally, I want to go in here and edit this one more time. And I'm going to say, I could just say, like the final then is to put the point at D, but for no really good reason, I'm going to use another if V is less than or equal, let's say, to 10, comma, let's be at D. And hit enter. And then if I drag, you can see the point E moves around based on whatever V is. Okay, so that can let me move things around a little bit, but what if I want to make something cooler? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to delete a bunch of things. I'm going to leave V. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some curves. So curve, I'm going to start at the bottom right corner. So I'm going to use the 2x2 square that I had there. So, or 4x4, I don't know. Yeah, it's 4x4 by 4x4. Four unit sides. So it's 2, and then I'm going to say, X is just going to say it 2. Negative 2 plus 4 over, let's make it take 2 times t, 0 to 2. So I get that. That's curve A. And I'm going to keep repeating this to go around. So this time, the x-coordinate is going to vary. It's going to start at 2 and end up at negative 2, so the change is 4. I want to take 2. I'm going to say that it starts at t equals 2, because from 0 to 2, I'm on this curve, so that's 2. And then the y-coordinate is always 2 for this part of the curve. T, let's go 2 to 4. So we get that. Press enter. Keep going around. So now the x-coordinate is always negative 2 on this segment. And I'm going to start at 2, go down to negative 2, so the change in y is 4, but I want it to take 2. T, this is going to start at 4, go from 4 to 6, and then finish this off. So the x-coordinate starts at negative 2, it's going to end up at 2, so the change is 4, so plus 4 over 2, t minus 6, because I'm up to t equals 6. And then the y-coordinate is always negative 2, and I want t to go from 6 to 8. Okay, so now I have this box. So what I want to do now is I want to put a point on this and have it move around the box. So I can do that using if statements again. So V is still going to be our slider. And what I'm going to do is say if V is less than 2, I want to be on A. Okay, so I'm just going to hit enter and see what happens. I like to do that while I'm building these. So as long as it's less than 2, it's going to be on A. And then as soon as I'm off that, it just disappears because it doesn't know what to do because there's no then. So what I want to do is I want to switch over to curve B as soon as that happens. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to edit this and go right at the end. So right after A of V. So comma, if V is less than 4, I want to be on curve B. So I'm going to hit enter. I'll go up and drag. Hopefully you're getting the idea here. So from here to here, and then it turns the corner. That's kind of neat, but then it disappears again as soon as you get to 4. So let's finish this. So I want to, so I click there, comma, if V is less than 6, be on C, and then I'm going to say comma, if V is less than 8, be on D. And press enter and see if I messed up. I don't seem to have. Let me modify this a little bit. 0 to 8. And then I'm also going to change, so I'm going into the settings here. So settings, click on slider, and go, instead of oscillating, just choose increasing. And then close that. Hit play. And let's see if this worked. So 4, and then to 6 it'll be here. To 8 it'll be here. And then it looks a little glitchy when it gets to 8. We could fix that if we used mod, if you're familiar with that. That can make this look a little smoother. But anyway, this is how you can kind of control the position of a point on the screen using if statements. I use it a lot. I hope you found this helpful, and good luck.